Outer Banks. Sorry.
Well,
just
if you find out anything about it, please let us know, because it's been there for like a week now, and it's around 5:30 every morning, and then when the sun gets up, it's gone.
You know what? I'll be happy to ask.
You can't see it anymore.
I'll be happy to ask.
I appreciate that a lot.
Sure, my pleasure.
Appreciate that a lot, and if you'll just post me a note, I would thank you very much, okay?
You got it. Take care.
And keep up the good work, and tell everybody we love them, and to keep on doing what they're doing. We're ready for them.
Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. I really do. You take care, Joel.
Thanks, Joel. I'm going to put you on hold now. The next caller I'm going to bring on the air is 949. 949, please state your first name and where you're calling from.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi, Tolec. You're awesome. My name is Miyushu, and I've been following all of your interviews and since I first heard you on Alfred's Exopolitics YouTube.
Sure.
My question to you is, why is there so much confliction with 4D and 5D? I've heard that 4D, some people say that 4D this is where the evil underlings are, or the evil reptilians are, or whatever. And then we hear, and then of course I have listened to some of Sheldon Neidel's information as well. And for the most part, you guys are all kind of parallel, but there's always a little bit of difference of opinion, so to speak, or definition of things. And so I get a little confused. I mean, I truly believe there's something to all of this, and we should all be so lucky to be in your shoes to be able to have a first-hand experience with getting to meet our extended family, so to speak.
That's right. Brothers, sisters. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure for you, I mean, to even come out and discuss this, you're probably thinking, God, most people probably think that I've just, I'm a screwball or a nutcase or whatever, because not everybody has either the ability to connect with our extended family, or maybe some have and are afraid to come out because of, fear of whatever. But anyway,
yeah,
so bottom line
it is a big responsibility, but quite honestly, and I mean this sincerely, I'm essentially putting the same skills to work that I used when I was the chief operating officer of our firm. I'm using those same skill sets as an Earth human doing this work with and for the Andromeda Council, but more importantly, being a liaison and kind of like a reporting source to share this information to people who are interested, to people who want to know. But I'm using the same skill sets, so it's actually kind of easy for me to do this work. It's work I take very seriously, so I'm really committed to, and I go back, I bug them. I go back 3 and 4 times over the same questions over and over again to make sure that I am hearing what I believe I'm hearing, and to take the notes down. That's why this final base destruction report has turned into, from what was originally a 3-page report, is now an 8-page report. And it'll probably be 9 pages by the time it's done. We finish this thing. So it's a lot of work. I apologize for the dissertation, but give me a short burst version of your question again.
What is the difference between 4D and 5D? Because
here we go. Okay. Oh, all right. Funny. I had this conversation with a friend of mine earlier today, and it was like, oh, okay. Thanks for asking. I'm going to make an assumption. I'm going to make a few assumptions. Here we go. You and I and other people who are living this Earth human life have 3-dimensional, organic, gross matter, physical bodies, right? And yet we have an eternal soul and a spirit essence. So we're really 3 components all blended in one. Many people believe that and they speak of it this way, when we're living and working in the space that we're working in, that space is fourth dimensional. But when this solar system and when this planet and its people finally evolve to becoming the next higher vibratory level up, many people would say that's a fifth dimensional vibration. Now, if you take the labels away, we're all pretty much saying the same thing. We're going to go from being a organic, coarse matter human body to becoming a spirit energy form fine matter body. Whether you call it the fourth, higher level fourth, or lower fifth, it's all the same thing.
So essentially, go ahead, sorry.
And I was just going to say, I haven't found enough differences to want to get into, and I don't like to argue anyway, but to create an argument out of this issue. Many of the people like myself who are being exposed to this material, even though the labels may be a little bit different, the process evolution is the same. We're going to go from being gross, coarse matter, organic, to higher vibratory, energy, crystalline base bodies. Now, people like Drunvula Melchizedek, myself, and there are a few others, will say fourth dimension. There are a whole bunch of other people that say fifth dimension, but we're still talking about the same thing. Does that help?
Yeah, it does. So essentially, even though the physicality of ourselves right now is three-dimensional, internally, on an energy level, we are a soul and a spirit, two separate things, but working in tandem.
That's right.
And the soul and our spirit is actually fourth dimensional.
Yes.
In a way.
Yes. Absolutely.
However, we're contained in this little.
Right, and we're having a three-dimensional coarse matter human experience on a three-dimensional planet. Yeah, well said. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Very good.
That's
all right. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks for sticking with the question. I appreciate it.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Metsu. I'm going to put you on hold. And the next caller I'm bringing on the air is 307. 307, state your first name and where you're calling from. Well, I think we got somebody playing games, but that's okay. I'll put him back on hold. The next caller is 646. I'm going to bring you on the air, 646. State your first name and where you're calling from.
Then the Buddha yelled, I gotta have more shells!
Next one.
Okay. All right, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 callers, and I'm not going to bring you on the air unless you press 1. So, guys, please press the number 1, 480-843-772-717-541. If you want to speak with Tolec, please press 1. We've got some more questions from the chat room. Lucas Birdman asks, when will the Scouter craft begin to meet with us, Tolec?
Can you ask the question again? When will
Scouter craft begin to meet with us?
Scouter? Does he mean like UFOs?
Right. I think that's what he means.
Okay. All right. I'll answer the question differently. The people from the 4 races of the Andromeda Council, Tolec, Nikote, Retol, one other, the people of Procyon and the Andromeda Council need to complete this last police action and actually perform the destruction of this base. I anticipate that will happen sometime in the next few days or so. Sometime not too soon after that, within weeks, maybe a month's time, I anticipate the people of those 4 races, there'll be some meetings that have to be held first, but right after that, they will start to visit. They'll start to land. They'll do it quietly at night, cloaked, not disturbing anybody. and they'll be visiting with people in the United States first, and then they're going to go to Canada and a few other countries. But I don't think that we're looking too far down the road time-wise. That's my complete answer.
Okay, excellent. I have a question from Kathy's Distant Echoes in the chat room. And I've heard this question before, Tolec. Do you have a real name? And where did the name Tolec originate?
Sure. I was born Earth. Well, we're not going to get into my original spirit essence. We'll talk about my life, my Earth experience. I was born here on Earth. I live as a human. I've worked my whole life as a human like everybody else. Yes, I have a first name and a last name and a middle name. My contacts on the Andromeda Council assigned me with the name of Tolec so I could have an Andromeda Council work name. That's it. That's the name they assigned me so I could do this work. And so I could keep my private life private.
Yeah.
Next question.
I want to let all the listeners know I don't know Tolec's real name either. So
there you go.
Okay. The next caller I'm going to bring on is 770. 770. State your first name and where you're calling from.
My name is Chris.
Hi, Chris. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
Go ahead and ask your question to Tolec. Thanks for calling.
Thanks for Tolec, all you've done. I've been listening to you for quite a while, along with Alfred. And my question is, I'm a former U.S. veteran from the Air Force.
Yes, sir.
And I'm very concerned with these mass arrests that are going to take place. I'm assuming within 30 to 60 days, for what I'm hearing from everybody. But I've never heard particularly whom will be doing the arresting, especially the people that are supposed to be high up in the government, and especially like I've heard former President Bush 1 and 2, and I don't know if this is true or not, and I've heard that Bill Gates has been arrested or detained. I've heard Timothy Geithner. I mean, you hear all kinds of things, but
yeah,
we're really wanting to know when these arrests will begin, who will be doing the arresting, and when they are arrested, will they be detained or will they be released on bond?
You know, you asked a really relevant question. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer, and I mean this with all sincerity. I'm not the guy to ask, and here's why. The Andromeda Council has taken the steps that they've taken to intervene and, if you will, act as sort of goodwill Marines, a goodwill police task force to level the playing field, get rid of the reptilians, and make it safe for the people of Earth to evolve. That's part A in terms of why they're here and intervening. Part B is, as this Earth continues to change and the people on it continue to change and evolve, and as we become higher dimensional humans, we are going to have a whole bunch of questions that their people, the 4 races of the Andromeda Council, are going to be able to answer about. Who are we? Where have we come from? What has this life really been all about? How many races settled this planet, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Those are the 2 reasons for which the people in Andromeda Council have gotten involved. It is not their policy to get involved in human government arrests of human people, of human governments. That's not their job. I don't know who's going to be doing the arresting. I honestly don't know. It's a relevant question. I'm sorry, I just don't have the answer.
Right. I mean, it's all over the internet, and it's you hear 10,000 being arrested.
Yeah, like you, I've seen other people write about it, and I'm happy it's going to happen because some really nasty people have been taking some really bad instructions from reptilians and others at the top of the cabal.